One of the things we tried to do when we were mapping out the revision of the 7th edition of the Practice of Statistics was to think about what new teachers of AP Statistics needed the most. And we wanted to try to create a book that would allow them to follow the script with their students in a way that matched their course schedule and pacing. So for example, some teachers are on 45 or 50-minute periods that meet 4 or 5 days a week. Other teachers are on block schedules where they have 90-minute sessions. And we wanted to create a structure within the book to make it obvious to the teachers where they could expect to finish at the end of their 45 or 90-minute session. In order to do that, we had to take our check your understandings that come at the end of various parts of material and place them strategically at a point where one block of material leading up to a check your understanding is about a 45-minute class period. So we're sort of signaling to all those new teachers that this is the amount of content that you should be expecting to do with your students in a 45-minute or 50-minute session. If you have a block period, then you would go through 2 of those little chunks and do 2 of the check your understandings, hopefully with the kids at the end, just to be sure that they mastered the things that you wanted them to master. So it was really fun for us to rethink about the positioning of those check your understandings. We hadn't thought of them as a vehicle for mapping the time frame in the classroom, but we know so many teachers stress over pacing that we wanted to make it as easy as possible. And having those checkpoints to say, here's what we need to go through today, kids. Here are the kinds of things you're supposed to have learned at the end. You can do that check your understanding. Was really kind of refreshing for us. We had always had the check your understanding as a feature, but we didn't think of it as a vehicle for helping teachers pace the course. The biggest concern we've heard from new teachers is how quickly they need to move through the material, and when they're just looking at a whole section, they're not sure how much time they need to spend. If we put out a pacing guide, the teacher might look at that and say, yeah, but I have 2 45-minute periods and a 90-minute period. And your pacing guide says I need to spend this many 45-minute periods. It would be easier if I just had an indicator in the book to know what that meant. And we were able to give that indicator, and we hope that'll really help new teachers in terms of guidance with pacing. We also tried to change the structuring within each of the sections so that teachers would know that a learning target matched directly to a subsection, which matches directly to a group of exercises with that same name. So when you're thinking about the 2 or 3 learning targets that you're going to help your kids master in a class period, depending on how long your class period is, you have an easy mapping to the homework exercises that go with that learning target, as well as the example that goes with that learning target, and you can sort of build out your instruction much more quickly than if you don't have those clear signals. So that's a new thing in TPS 7 that we're very excited about, not just for new teachers, but for even for veteran teachers. It's nice to see the direct connection between the learning targets, the subsection headers, the examples that go with those, and then the groups of exercises at the end that make it clear which groups of exercises your students are ready to do at any particular point.